everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly and today is going to be a studio apartment tour. So we are going to go to the Columbus Circle area, Midtown, to go check out a studio in a very nice building. I'll insert some pictures from the Street Easy right here. As you can see, this building is nice. There is a 24-hour doorman, and let's go check it out.
Lemonade was a popular drink, and it still is. I get more props and stunts than Bruce Willis.
So when you first walk into this building, there is a beautiful lobby that I wasn't able to get videos of, unfortunately, but this building has 4 elevators. And here is what the hallways look like. I mean, it does look pretty dated. This is a building from the 70s, but it was very kept up and very clean. And so now we're in the apartment. We're starting in the bathroom. I think that this is a decent size bathroom. Again, this is a studio, so we're thinking for one person. There's a bathtub and a shower head. I like the towel on the walls. Once you exit the bathroom, there is a closet to your left, and this one has a bar. It's a decent size, but if you have a lot of clothes, I don't know if this apartment would work for you, since this is the only hanging closet. The kitchen is on the left when you first come in the apartment. I actually liked this kitchen. I feel like it's a decent size for one person. It has a dishwasher and an electric stove. And then when you walk into the living space, there is one more closet. It doesn't have a bar. It has these shelves. So you would have to be creative if you have a lot of clothes, but there are 2 closets in this apartment. And then this is the living space. I think it's a decent size. It is 12 by 20, and I'll talk a little bit more about the floor plan later in the video. But when I was in there, I felt like you could fit a bed, a couch, probably a desk on the same side as the bed, a TV stand, kind of how my apartment is set up now. And this is the view. You have a Midtown view, and this apartment is on the 33rd floor. Here we're just looking at the laundry room. It's huge. So this building has 35 floors, and it's composed of studios and 1-bedroom apartments. So all of these washers and dryers are necessary because there's a lot of people in the building. Of course, after the apartment tour, I come to TJ Maxx. Where else would I go? Home decor, always on the quest for home decor. Okay, so we are back home, same couch setup, and let's talk about what I think. When I left the tour, I was given a little packet like this with the name of the apartment. It had the floor plan of the apartment. The living room area, which would be where you put your bed, your couch, etc., is 12 by 20. So that's not bad. I've seen better, but I've also seen a lot worse. And if you want to see a lot worse, check this video right here. So it's a studio apartment. I think that it was a decent size for a New York City studio apartment. I thought that the laundry room was huge. I mean, of course it has to be. That's a huge building. I love that there was a doorman. I love that area. It's super close to the Columbus Circle subway. So for anyone that has to commute, that would be really easy for them to get to wherever they need to. With a lot of people working from home, I don't know how you all feel about studio apartments. It's not really anywhere to close your door or any outside space. That building didn't have like a rooftop or a gym or any of those type of extra amenities. So let's get into the price. So right now, a lot of New York City apartments are offering like rent concessions because no one is really renting in New York City right now. A lot of these buildings have a lot of vacant apartments, so the buildings, building owners, whatever, leasing office are trying to get more people to rent apartments, so they're making these special deals. So this apartment has a deal going on right now where essentially if you sign the lease like today, soon, you will only pay 10.5 months of rent versus the normal year lease where you pay 12 months of rent. So the gross rent is around $2,500. Yes, I said $2,500 for a studio. Even for me, I'm like, that's above my pay grade, that's too much for me. But in this area of New York City, Midtown and down, it's not that uncommon pre-COVID to see a studio going for $2,500. But because they're offering 10.5 months of rent instead of a 12-month normal amount, the net rent is $2,150, like $2,145, so I just round up to $2,150, which is more reasonable. But the caveat is that what you put on your check, what you send them for those 10.5 months will be the $2,500 amount. So if you do the math, you're paying less for this apartment in this nice building in this nice area, whatever. But if you still can't afford to pay $2,500 a month, even if it is for a month and a half less than what you would have to on a normal 12-month lease, how are you expected to still pay the $2,500 a month? So there are some buildings that will let you pay the net amount for 12 months, so you're paying a lesser amount, but some are like, you need to pay the $2,500. This building was not one of those buildings that would let you pay the net, so that's kind of something that you have to think about. Could you rationalize paying the $2,500 for 10.5 months, knowing that if you do the math over 12 months, you're only paying $2,150? I don't know. I think it would just hurt my pocket a little too much to pay that $2,500. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I love looking at apartments, so I'm going to definitely be doing some more apartment tours. There are so many vacant apartments in New York City right now, and I just want to tell all of you, if you were ever thinking of moving to New York City, and I know it's COVID, but New York City is actually doing pretty good for COVID. The transmission rate is pretty low. I would honestly say from here on to, like, who knows what's going to happen in the winter, is the time to come. I'm talking about apartments that are normally like $3,000 going for like $2,000, or normally like $2,000 going for like $1,500. I am telling you the truth. I am the type of person that looks at these apartments for fun. One, there's just so many to choose from, like you're bound to find a great apartment. And two, these buildings are trying to get these apartments off the market. So I think that there's even some ways to negotiate rent, to say, okay, instead of a month and a half off, a month and a half free, give me 2 full months free of rent. I think that there is some push, because a lot of these buildings don't just have one empty apartment, they have 4, 5, 6. So I would tell you, if there was any other time to move to New York where you could potentially actually afford to live here, like actually afford to live here, this is the time. But again, let me know what you thought about the studio apartment. What do you think about all of these apartments in New York becoming quote-unquote cheap? Because nothing is cheap, but it's cheaper than what it was. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this apartment tour, and I will definitely give you some more soon. So remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.